Not too long ago, I actually talked about Rev.com. This is a transcription and closed captioning service that you can utilize. However, I left a lot of ideas off of that video that I thought I would share with you in today's video in the Rev Transcription Review, Revisited, and Tips. So stay tuned. This is Self-Publishing with Dale, where you learn to publish books that sell and build an unstoppable brand. Stick around to the end because I'm going to hook you up with some free services through Rev if you've never tried them before. Also, you may want to take a look at my previous video where I discuss the pros and cons of using the service of Rev.com. To summarize the services that Rev.com provides, they essentially provide transcriptions, closed captioning, and translation services. If you've got audio or video of something and you want to have it dictated onto text, then this is the way to go. Now, that's all well and good. We can talk about doing some audio tracks or video tracks that we can dictate and turn it into a book of some sort, but we're just going to go ahead and put that one off to the side because I'm going to talk a little bit about a strategy you can utilize within your own author platform or your business, and it's with the transcription feature. But what can we use a transcript for anyways? The first thing is going to be one of my preferred ways of doing it is I've actually, of course, got this YouTube channel and I will order closed captioning. Fun fact. They provide numerous other iterations of the closed captioning beyond what's called the SRT file that's available for video. They also have the full transcript that's available through text, which you may recognize .txt from your notepad. And it's kind of a long form way of putting some of the text together. This is where we're going to go ahead and we're going to build off of this idea. We're going to take that specific text document, we're going to download this, and we're going to repurpose it elsewhere. Now, for those of you out there that are old school writers and editors are probably flipping out. I know, I've seen your comments. Calm down, okay? Relax. There's a difference between dictating and writing. Let's just get it out the way. So let's go ahead, and if we're going to honor that model, what we can always say is you can take a dictation and use it as a general rough outline for you to build off of and grow a book or a blog article like we're going to discuss today. It's much easier to build a blog post with a transcription than it is to develop a good book that makes sense and doesn't need a ton of editing or hiring a professional editor to go through and do all the edits that are necessary to make it good for the marketplace. There's going to be a difference between a blog post and a book. Huge difference here, folks. So without any further ado, let's go on behind the dashboard and I'll show you the whole process. Before we do jump into things, I want to make sure that you take advantage of something that's exclusive to first-time members of Rev's services. You can get $10 off your first order using the Rev coupon code through my affiliate link of dalelinks.com/rev. Again, that's dalelinks.com/rev, and you can go ahead and get that coupon to get started so you can follow along with me. Here we go. Let's head over to rev.com. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to select the captions feature. For this instance, we could use either transcription or captions, but every single time I just lean on captions. Before we click any of the links, let's make sure that we log in. So if you haven't set up an account, I advise that you do so as soon as possible. It doesn't cost a dime to have an actual account. It's just when you actually get the services. So let's log in. Once you're logged in, everything is all set and ready to go. I highly recommend if you get the opportunity, and you do have a YouTube channel, or if you plan on using some of the video, just connect the two accounts together. I've been using Rev for easily about 2-3 years now, and I've never had any issues whatsoever with them using my account for any nefarious purposes. So we're going to go ahead and select English captions. We're going to hit Get Started. Okay, so we have three different things we can utilize. We can either upload the files ourselves. So if for some reason you have the video and it's not necessarily on YouTube, or you have an audio file that you recorded, say through podcast, you can always upload it through this particular link. Or you can even paste a URL. Now, I have not used that particular option, but I'm sure it's probably going to work just like the other ones. Now, my preferred way is I pull from videos directly on my account. So I don't use Vimeo, I do use YouTube. So what we're going to do is we're going to select YouTube. And since I already have my account connected to this, what it's going to do, it's going to draw for some of the videos, and it's going to show me which ones I have captions for and which ones I don't. And I can automatically tell there are captions for these ones, but not so much for these ones. In the event my YouTube channel is not connected here, what I'll end up doing is I'll hit the drop down account and I'll add another account. But I'm pretty happy with this one. So let's just say that I have one of these videos, I want to select them. I can just simply grab the one, and let's say we're going to go ahead and do the no book sales one. We can add the selected to cart. In the event that you don't see that particular video there, the beauty of it is all you have to do is just type it in there. So why are my books not? And I can probably just hit the search, and it'll probably narrow it down to the videos that most appropriately match that specific keyword that I'm looking for. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to select this one. Now, kind of what I mentioned before, that the English captioning services will actually cost only $1 per minute, which is just stellar. And they get it back to you rather quick. For this being 9 minutes and $9, I think it's definitely worth it, because I would probably take me easily a couple hours to do good captioning on this one right here. So in any event, I'm not going to add any Spanish or French translations. We can probably say that for another day. But in any event, you're going to see right away it has a couple of things that we can look at. So automatically deliver files back to YouTube. I like and prefer they do that, so that way it's just uploaded automatically. I don't need to worry about touching it. I'm going to place this order, but we're going to end up using a different SRT file. I'm going to show you how I access that SRT file, or the TXT file that we're going to be using for our particular blog post. Let's check out, and let's take the TXT file and put it into a blog post. Okay, assuming that you got your notification that the captioning has been completed, you'll see that email, and you should be able to just click on it. It'll directly bring you into your account to where you can actually see the various iterations of your captioning service. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to go right into my account. This way we're going to utilize one of my old caption files, and we're going to use that into a blog post. That's for time's sake, since I'm literally doing this on the day that I'm firing out the video for this. So we'll go into my files, and I've just decided that I'm going to go ahead and select the PublishDrive Google Play Books Publish Alert. We're going to go ahead and select that. It'll open it up into where they have the captioning done. Now, I don't need to press play on this or anything else like that. What I do want is the TXT file. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit this drop down, and we're going to hit download. All right, and what this does, it'll pop it up and it'll give you numerous different types of files. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to choose TXT, because that is the text file that we'll be able to utilize for repurposing into a blog post. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the transcript, and I'm going to hit download. Okay, so once we have this down, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open the file up, and it should automatically come open into Notepad. And the one thing you're going to see right away is it is a wall of text. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to hit Control A to select all, and we're going to hit Control C to copy. The next thing is we're going to want to open up, say, some type of a document creating software like Microsoft Word or any of your preference. Now we're going to paste it. Paste special. We're going to go for unformatted text, and boom. Now you're going to see right away that it is just a wall of text. Your job is going to be a little bit tedious on this one. We're going to select all, the very first thing, and I'm going to clean this up into justified, so that way it looks a little cleaner. Now, what I will do is I'm going to go through, and since they've gone through the measure of separating out the sentences, what we need to do is start to break this apart into bite-sized pieces, because we're not going to be utilizing all of this content into our blog. So we're just going to go ahead and go insert a line break on each one of the sentences. Now that I have all of the content broken up to separate sentences, we're going to want to make sure that we kind of go back through and make sure that we're dialing it in specifically for a blog, because when you're dictating something or you're speaking on video, it doesn't always translate the best into text. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back through, clean up things. So if there's like a call to action, for instance, at the very end, I say, hey, meet me over in this video. Doesn't make very much sense if I'm putting that into text. Maybe I say, check out this video down below for more information about X.
So this is where we're going to want to make sure we break things up. And if you've been blogging long enough, you'll probably know that if we were to try to put all of this into one gigantic paragraph or longer paragraphs, it's not as digestible. It's not going to get your people going and continually reading. So what I like to do is just put little nuggets, little pieces and snippets, and keeping my sentences as brief and to the point as possible, so it gets the readers and the visitors to your website to go from this point down to that point. All right, so let's get it all cleaned up. Okay, so I took about a half hour. I went through my text and I really kind of cleaned it up and broke it up into smaller bite-sized pieces that we can put over here onto the blog. Now, without going too far in depth, most likely I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it on up there, and I'll probably tweak a few things, maybe have my assistant peek through it. So this isn't going to be something that's going to be really quick and dirty. You're not going to be able to just go grab your transcript and just throw it up and hope for the best, because obviously a good blog article will take some time to craft and get it to where you understand a little bit more about, what your audience is looking for and what's going to get them to read from the top all the way down to the bottom, and hopefully consume any kind of tidbits that you're putting in between, including visuals that are pictures or videos. And in this case, we're actually going to be using it for video. So what I also did was I wanted to break up each one of the areas to where it's relevant content. What can people expect within this certain area? Because if you want to make your blog a little bit more digestible, you're going to want to say, okay, this is what I'm talking about right here. And in this one, we're going to kind of shift just a little bit, and then here we're going to shift a little bit. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to go on over into my WordPress. If you've got another blog service, you obviously can kind of, insert what you like there. So we're going to head back over, and I'm already logged in. We're going to go into posts, and we're going to add a new one. Now, most likely, I would probably take a little bit of time and do a little bit of Google keyword research and figure out what's going to work and what seems sensible. One of the things that you don't want to do is take a ton of keywords and just load it on in there and try to spam the heck out of it. This is another reason why it's probably a good idea to go back through your content and make sure that it is clean, it looks good. I probably say Google Play Books and PublishDrive far too many times, so I have to figure out another way as I'm going through my second edit to make sure everything looks good. So for the meantime, we're going to say the PublishDrive news, what happened to Google Play Books. All right, so next thing is, let's go over into my document, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to select all, I'm going to copy, and then I'm just going to paste this in here. Excellent. Now I'm going to go through and format each one of these things and essentially just try to get it to where it looks a little cleaner. Okay, so now that I've got everything kind of inserted in here, what I've done is I've went through and I've done another quick edit through something like Grammarly. It's up to you. You can always use the one that's built into WordPress. It doesn't really matter. You just want to make sure that you're getting it clean. So here's what I like to do is typically, since a lot of my blog posts really revolve around my videos, what I'll typically do is embed that video in here right out the gate. So it's a super simple process. We're just going to hit enter, and then I'll go over into the YouTube video itself. Grab the link for your video, and all I'm going to do is just press Control V to paste it since I already copied it. And the nice thing is it automatically fills out. It gets it to where it puts it right here. So we're going to see how this looks in just a moment. The next thing I'm going to recommend is you insert images with each one of these areas. So it breaks up the text and it gets it to where people's eyes are drawn as they go down. This is probably a little too soon, but what I would typically will do is I'll insert in something else like right about here and right about there. Okay, so I've now inserted in images, I've put in the relevant video, and I have it all pretty much formatted the way I like to. Now keep in mind, when you're looking inside your dashboard, such as WordPress here, it's not going to look as pretty as what it's going to look like in real life. So what we're going to do is just do a quick preview, and I just select that right there. And then from there, we can probably scroll through and just eyeball it and see, okay, judge for ourselves. Is this readable? Now, I'm not entirely satisfied. There's this whole long section right here. I probably would like to break it up with an image of some sort, or maybe even try to abbreviate something that I'm saying within there. But for the most part, I am super happy with how this is looking so far. So it probably has maybe about another 15 minutes work on it at best. Just as a reminder, to get the transcription service, all you have to do is head over to my affiliate link at dalelinks.com/rev to get $10 off your first order.
What if you want to turn this into a book? Fair warning, This is a fairly arduous process. I've gone through it before, but it really is labor intensive and it can cost a bit of extra money when it comes to editing because your editor is going to be working their tail off trying to get it to where it's in the best version it can be rather than just you talking. But we'll save that conversation for another day. In between time, I want to insist that if you're new to this business or you're a beginner to self-publishing, you may want to go take a look at this next video. It's going to give you the best first steps when it comes to publishing your next book. I'll see you there. Kindle Direct Publishing account. The very first thing some people are going to ask is why Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing? Well, if you're not familiar with the Amazon